Hello, in this video we are going to discuss Rafi point 242, 12th edition. This point is about the muscles which are involved in the movement of the mandible or the temporomandibular joint. The mnemonic to remember the muscle is that while you say L, your mouth opens. So lateral pterygoid muscle is responsible to open the mouth, and while you say M, your mouth closes. So medial pterygoid muscle is involved in closing the mouth, and the another muscle which is involved in closing the jaw or the mouth is the masseter muscle. So if there is an MCQ that the muscle that closes the jaw is masseter and the one that closes the mouth is the medial pterygoid muscle. Now we will discuss the MCQs related to lateral pterygoid muscle. So the most of the MCQs which involve the lateral pterygoid muscle includes, for example, a 64-year-old woman is unable to open her mouth. So the keys over here is unable to open her mouth, resulting from penetrating wound and this. Which of the following muscle would be like? So if you know that which muscle is involved when the mouth is unable to open, so that is the lateral pterygoid muscle. Another important thing is to remember about the lateral pterygoid muscle is the muscle that get paralyzed or damaged in temporomandibular joint dislocation is the lateral pterygoid muscle, and the most common temporomandibular dislocation is anteriorly, and the muscle involved is the lateral pterygoid muscle. Which structure prevent the TPM joint dislocation? Which structure prevent the joint to go back in cavity? The answer is also the lateral pterygoid muscle. Excessive yawning, which muscle? That is also the lateral pterygoid muscle. Which of the following muscle of mastication is attached to the neck of the mandible and the capsule of the joint? Which of the following muscle is attached to the neck of the mandible and the capsule of the joint is the lateral pterygoid muscle? The important thing about lateral pterygoid muscle is that if you are asked that which muscle is responsible for the protrusion of the mandible, then that is the lateral pterygoid muscle. And if this is asked that which muscle partially intersect the T and J joint, that is also lateral pterygoid muscle. And the muscle that provide the forward traction or the protrusion of the mandible during opening of the mouth is the lower fiber of the lateral pterygoid muscle. Other MCQs about the joint is most common site of mandible dislocation is anterior dislocation, and the proprioception of the TMJ joint, muscle of constriction in teeth, heart, palate and periodontium are perceived by mesencephalic nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. Dislocation of the TMJ attaches to condyle of mandible by which ligament? So ligament is important, that is a collateral ligament that helps the attachment of the disc of the joint to the condyle of the mandible. Stabilize the TMJ joint, that is the capsule. Which ligament gives stability and give TMJ in position? So if it is asked the ligament, the structure is the capsule. If the ligament is asked, then the answer is temporomandibular ligament. There are few other MCQs. Boxer got trauma on the mandible. What will happen? There will be loss of sensation of the lower teeth and gum. Then there is after trauma to the mandible, lower teeth and chin sensation are lost. Which nerve is compromised? Inferior alveolar nerve is compromised. Parotid swelling pain through is the compression of the auriculotemporal nerve. Patient presented with pain while chewing. The muscle is also tender. Muscle involved is masseter muscle. If the person is having pain while chewing, the muscle involved is the masseter muscle, and the masseter muscle is also the muscle that is involved in closing of the jaw. So another MCQ related to the TM joint is that posterior fiber of the temporalis contraction causes retraction of the mandible. Protrusion is done by the lateral pterygoid muscle. Retraction is done by the temporalis muscle. Location of the geniculate ganglion. Geniculate ganglion is present in the medial wall of the middle ear. So all about the point 242 of the Rafi points. We are going to discuss more MCQs in other videos. Thank you for listening.